guys? It's a beautiful Friday morning. I've got the day off, so let's head to the shop. This is interesting. I fired my truck up this morning and power steering was making a little bit of noise, which I figured, Hydro Boost is leaking a little bit. So I went to check the fluid, and there's supposed to be a dipstick on here, a metal dipstick, and it is missing. So I don't know. See if I can use this magnet and try and find it. But that could be what's making the noise, and not that the fluid's low. It's probably way down in there. I need a bendy magnet. Oh well, we'll worry about this later. Well, we are at the shop. Shop's about 25 minutes away from my house, so it's not too bad of a drive. But yeah, this is the shop. As you can see, we're still working on a few things. The lighting in here, we still got to get some more lights. We've got a few, we just need to get them put up, but kind of switch it around here. So over here, we've got the Nova that Nani and Hector are working on. It's got a single turbo LS in it. I think they're working on doing the cold side piping and some wiring on it, and it should be done. We've got Nani's Camaro over here, just kind of storing it, waiting to put another engine in it. I think he's got one over there that he's gonna end up dropping in there. The C10 that they're working on, we got the S10 over here, just waiting its turn. Camaro that I'm working on, doing the LS swap. Let's see here. Over here on Gabe and Omar's side, they've got some of their cars in here. They actually got the lift installed, so eventually these roll-up doors are going to go on this side over here on this wall. So each bay is going to have its own door to pull into. That's why the lifts are facing this direction. As you can see, they don't really fit in here the best unless they're right in the middle. So that's the game plan with those. Bay door on each section. But yeah, this is kind of Gabe's spot over here. A little dark in that corner, but C10 looks like he's doing suspension on his little hoopty. He must have took his truck home, but yeah, this is the spot. So gonna be working on the Camaro today, trying to get it finished up, kind of show, not finished up, but closer to being finished up. let's see, the last time, I think this was in a video, I had pulled the small block out of it, and let me turn on this light, might help. I had pulled the small block out of it and had this on the engine stand, kind of resealing it and going through it. Now, as you can see, it's in the car, bolted up to the transmission. Got fuel rails, fuel injectors in it. Most of the Holley harness routed. Just need to figure out what we're gonna do with the exhaust. He does want to do single turbo, kind of like the Nova over there, so might do a similar setup like that, but still got to do a lot of the wiring inside the car, fuel system, cooling system, stuff like that. So today, just gonna kind of whittle away at it, try and get some stuff done since I've got all day up here, and we'll see what we can do. Before I got too carried away, I had to get a couple of sponsors' banners put up, make this place feel like home. There we go. Now it's starting to look like home. Man, I'm stoked. Well, I took all of that mess out of here. That was all the wiring from the old engine. And I started going through it, trying to figure out, you know, what I was going to keep, what I was going to get rid of. But this stuff has been hacked and melted and just so much that we're just going to start over with fresh wire. I mean, look at that. That's the old power wire to like the fuse block coming off the starter, melted. Someone had once hot wired the thing, so they had a red wire spliced into the purple starter wire, and it's also cut and spliced under the dash too, so it was just best to cut it all out and we'll just run new wiring. So cleaned up the firewall quite a bit, so it looks a lot cleaner now. We've got a new master cylinder and booster, so that's gonna clean up as well. And then the missing inner fender. A subscriber, viewer, local guy, actually gave me a set, they're sitting over there, of inner fenders. So we're going to be putting the inner fender back in on this side. Originally, we talked about just taking them out since he was missing this one, and it's cheaper and easier to pull this one out than to buy a new one and have it shipped to you. But since we have an inner fender, it would be cleaner and nicer to have the inner fender in. So that's what we're going to do. So we will have inner fenders in both sides. The exhaust was kind of an issue. So he had already bought a Corvette spacing balancer and water pump. And he had also already bought a set of these up and forward headers. So if you guys are familiar, up and forward headers, Corvette spacing, alternator and power steering brackets don't really work very well. I couldn't find any alternator bracket or power steering bracket to work with up and forward headers. Most of them put the alternator down here, which won't work because it hits the gearbox. So we were gonna go with these manifolds. So passenger side, driver's side, turbo mount already built into them. Great, you know, these will save a lot of time, but they hit the control arm. So I think what we're gonna end up doing is I have other balancers, probably use water pump spacers, put this thing into truck spacing, and then use those up and forward headers so that it's similar to this car over here. And run it up and forward. So they've shortened this header up and forward and around and over the turbo, something like that. So that's probably what we're gonna end up having to do to this one. I also have a block off plate ordered for the firewall over there to cover up all the big holes from, you know, removing the AC box and the heater. So that's on its way. I think that'll be here today or tomorrow. Once that's on, then I can kind of go on the inside and start mounting the controller, the ECU and stuff, and doing some of the wiring inside. So we got the harness here and stuff like that. So, oh, it's dark. There we go. So now you can kind of see, I'm gonna put the Terminator X right there. Here it is. So this will just go in here, up on the firewall like that, and start wiring it in that way. But yeah, this thing's kind of cool. It's already got a roll bar in it that was put in. I think I can make the factory center console work with this shifter. They put it kind of right where it would fit. So that's kind of cool. That can kind of go back in, and then this thing will be ready to do burnouts and cause havoc on the streets. Speaking of these up and forward headers, these are the exact same ones that we used on George's Maverick, and he got them off eBay. So I'm pretty sure these ones are off eBay too. But look at how far off these holes get towards the end. Like, you can't bolt these headers on. The holes are off that far. George's were the same way. We had to enlarge 2 of these holes to make them even go on. But look at that. So yeah, you got to be careful with what you buy off eBay. They're cheap, but you sometimes have to make them work. So if you're willing to do that for saving a few extra bucks, then have at it. That's how I usually am. So I got to make these holes a little bit bigger so I can mock these up. All right, it's the next day, or night, I should say. Let me get you caught up on what I did yesterday. So we got the headers on mocked up, just kind of figuring out some things. I have the water pump spacers now. They're down here in this bag. We got the plate for the firewall, so we're gonna get that ready. Got the battery in, got some battery cables made. Starters on down there. Let's see, that's pretty much it. Just cleaned up some wiring and stuff yesterday. A couple of the guys ended up showing up in the middle of the day, and they're a little camera shy, and I'm a little awkward around other people while I'm filming, so we didn't really get much done. So tonight, I also got the fuel tank out of it. So he had given me this 10-gallon cell over here. So I have this 10-gallon fuel cell, and it's got a Holley drop-in dual 450 pump like basket in it. And I think that 10 gallons is just not enough for a street cart. I have a 10-gallon tank in the S10, and it doesn't last very long, especially on E85. If he decides to do E85, he's gonna have to stop and get fuel a lot, and it's not that popular around here. So I am going to try and maybe modify this stock fuel tank to accept that drop-in fuel pump, and that way he has stock fuel capacity. He can fill it up like a stock fuel tank and just kind of have the best of both worlds. So those are the few things that I'm going to work on tonight. I don't know how much I'll get done, but I got to get this plate for the firewall prepped and painted, and then maybe test fit it. I wonder if that came with hardware. I probably don't have any hardware, so we'll get it opened up, see if there's hardware. That will kind of determine what I'm going to do tonight. So we'll just kind of see how it goes, and I'll keep you guys updated. Oh, and we got Roxy with us tonight, head supervisor over here, making sure I get stuff done correctly. All right, so these should be the water pump spacers. That way we can convert the car water pump to truck spacing. So we got spacers, new hardware. Oh, okay, the box came open. Some gaskets, probably won't use those. I don't like paper gaskets. And another spacer. All right, so these will just go on, space the water pump out. What is kind of neat about those, or these, is the one has a 1/8 inch NPT port in it, so it gives you somewhere to run your steam hose if you don't have it. Probably just end up plugging this one because I have a bunch of different options for that. But all right, let's see, where is a knife or a razor blade or something sharp? There we go. So this is the firewall block off plate. And we got a box inside of a box. Okay. I think there's just packaging in here. Stickers. Whoa. Probably made in the USA. You don't see that too often anymore. Yeah, I don't think there's any hardware. Why would there be? I might have something to do with this, but oh, another sticker. UMI performance instructions. We don't need those. And there we go. So that will go on the firewall like so. But we're going to scuff it up and paint it black. We don't want that sticking out like a sore thumb. They do offer this already powder coated black, but it was a drop ship from the manufacturer. This one was in stock, so that's what I went with. I can just rattle can it black. All right, well, I don't have any hardware for the delete panel. We got it painted. It's kind of hard to see it over there, but got it all painted up. I want to go to the hardware store and get some nice button head bolts for it, not just some grade 8 random hardware. So need to get hardware for that. When I was changing out the harmonic balancer to the truck one, I nicked the front seal. So I need a new crank seal, and I don't have one of those with me. The one downfall about this shop is it's kind of out in the boonies. The closest parts store is probably 15 minutes away. So more than likely I'll just get that tomorrow morning or something after I go home. There's a parts store between my house and here, so that's probably what we'll do. I'll probably end this video here and pick up where we left off in the next video, or maybe we have another project on the way. So stay tuned to find out. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later.